Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I wanted to talk about My Hero Academia. This is Season 7, Episode 2. And before anything goes on, this is absolutely amazing. This has been the best ride we've had as these last two seasons. Finally, the anime has something. And what I'm saying by that is there's actual consequences in these fights. People aren't going to just live just because, oh, the hero lives forever and the villain lives forever and they just keep fighting continuously. No, we finally got past that mindset, and I think that is what's making this way better. Is it's not like normal comic books, it's actually like anime should be. There should be consequences just like life. We shouldn't be doing the comic book thing and just rewriting the same things over and over again. He lives, he dies, he lives, he dies. You know what I mean? This is just how it is. So the big fight is Shigaraki versus Star. Star has one command already, and that command is the lasers to beam on Shigaraki himself. And Shigaraki is stuck down, and his regeneration is happening as he's getting shredded by these lasers. And what happens is this. So, rockets are coming towards him, or actually towards Star. And what Star does is she uses her power. So she switches, Shigaraki starts to move, and she takes the rockets, throws them towards her. That's her command. And we go from that. Shigaraki's like down, and the rockets blow up. Boom. We think she's won. Everyone's cheering. Everyone's happy, excited. They're like, Star, let's go, Star. We're like, W America. I was like, dang, she is strong as all might. No, out of nowhere, we figure out that Shigaraki used the K. He dug a really deep hole. He comes out. He starts going towards him, or towards her, should I say? Sorry. So he's flying, basically. He's, you know what I mean? Soaring. That man is soaring. He's like, I want that quirk. And that's not him speaking, by the way. You want to know who that is? That is All For One. And he is just inside of him telling him that, and it's coming out of his mouth, so he's literally not himself. He's literally some cross being human being of him plus himself, if that makes sense. It's just crazy. And yeah, and her mindset during this is as he's coming towards her, is she's just kind of like unfazed in a way. I don't know how to explain it. It was like she knew it was coming, but at the same time she was like being like thankful to everyone around her. She was going back to where she's in the military services, and how all those pilots were actually her brothers, and how she grew up around them, and she was like thinking All Might and going back to that and why she started. I don't know. Overall, just W. So Shigaraki finally comes to her face. Of course, he uses Decay, and he also goes to take her quirk. And as that's happening, All For One is like having this like chit chat. I don't know, he's just being a yapper, and he's basically talking about how she's gonna die and come to her demise. And what he basically says is that since she's using the quirk to actually prevent herself from dying, what it's done is it's basically stopped the quirk from working fully, and it's getting transferred over to him. And during that transfer, I will say, not just go back to for a second. She uses her name. I don't remember her name exactly, but she say this person will not decay, but for this person, she said her name. And yeah, after that, Shigaraki just starts blowing up from the inside, and we're like, what the heck? And she's talking about it. Basically, what she did with her quirk is she put a command, and that command was that her quirk will basically seek out all the quirks and overcome them. And it had this really sick animation of her in the inside of him. Don't make it weird. Uh, Fighting all the quirks. So her quirk is fighting against all the other quirks. So survival of the fittest, but her quirk is gonna outlast them because, well, hers is superior because her command overrides all quirks, even the strongest ones so far. And nearing that, Shigaraki is like, dang. So his plan after all that was to escape, and so how he escapes is kind of stupid. So one of the nomads, he takes the power of flight from wings, and with those wings, he makes his way off. He uses the EMP, and he stops all the jets. And yeah, at first he was wanting to give it to one of the people in the jet, but I don't know why they didn't do anything. Like he didn't like Hulk himself into the top of the jet and like punch through, and you know what I mean. It could have been way awesomer that way, but I did enjoy the way it was overall because it's the ending, and this is where we come up. So it takes us to like this house, and I guess it's like a little hideaway house, and it's at the bad part of Japan where all the crime is happening. It's two criminals. I think he's like a bank robber, if I reread that correctly. I think he was also red haired, but that's not really important here. Anyway, we see the walls basically collapsing, and we know that's from the decay Shigaraki is using. And we just see his beat up, pattered face coming through. And he's like, I need to give away this quirk. He takes his head, the man, there's like a man and a woman. I didn't really describe that because it's not really important. He takes his hand on the man's face, does this, and out of nowhere, we get her name's Cassie. That's what it is. So, Star Cassie. We get to her, and what she says is kind of chilling. My quirk override. What I said is my quirk overrides all their quirks, so it will seek it out. And what happens is she basically explains, my quirk is gonna destroy after this. You can't give it to anyone. You wanna know why? It's overriding every other quirk. So what happens is clashes. Boom, it's dead. Her quirk is gone. So justice is gone. There's no more justice in the world. As far as we know, there might be another version of it, but America's number one hero, your name will not be in vain. I thought you're cool. 2 episodes, and it felt like you're here for a whole season almost. We're like 4 or 5 episodes, and that's how great of a character she was in these first 2 episodes. Nothing to give her credit for. There's more. I hope an off series comes and we can get like an American version and then like European version. I love the My Hero Academia version of what it is. Just the world. You know what I mean? It's just a good world. While I get off topic, I will say she says something about heroes. In Shigaraki, he has like all these hands around him from, his hand thing that he does to feel like he's close to his family. And he's inside of his inner self, which is kind of weird. And he hears something about her, so that All for One was told something about heroes will continue to come and heroes will come and seek you. So heroes are born and they're going to continue seeking out him. So that is basically saying that he's never safe. There's heroes to come. And Shigaraki actually kind of got lit up about that. There's also the topic about the comic books and how All for One and him would read them. And what happened was is he didn't have to bother to see the ending because he already knew what would happen. And yeah, he's just trying to pose what happens. So I don't know, it's really awesome. From here, it basically ends like this. All Might and everyone else gets the news. All Might lets the whole class know. And now we get to know what was going on and what was going to happen. So, Shigaraki was 1 day away from being fully complete. And we don't want that completion to happen because he becomes super insane. He's basically All for One 2.0, even superior because his body's younger, it's not as battered. I mean, All for One doesn't even have a face, man. So, anyway, Midoriya has to master One for All, and then his whole entire class has to master their quirks. And in this process, we're going to have a training arc for them, and hopefully some type of mastery happen for them. So, hopefully, evolutions, and then we're going to have some villain stuff coming up to basically pin start. I don't know when the battle's going to happen, I haven't read it, but I'm guessing it's going to either happen near the end of the season in a couple episodes, or they're gonna wait till the end, hype it up. We're gonna do banger season next season, like an insane one that's just fight after fight, and that would be awesome too. But I really would like some now, some later. What they did is they had that big fight happen, and then they came back, and this is like them slowly making the start back, and that's where we are. We're back to the class happening, them training, and some villain stuff happening, I believe. I watched a little bit of the preview, so I kind of know what's going on. It's not too hard to know. You read comics or you know general comics. All anime is comics. Anyway, guys, I don't want to blabber too much for you. I just wanted to tell you, you need to be watching this. Episode 2, banger. I gotta say, 7.5 on the map, and it was based. I almost cried for Star. We love you, and you are greatness. I want to see more of you. So, the people behind My Hero Academia, bring back this. I don't know about any of the Austrian mangas that are happening, but I hope you did one about Star in America overall, because that would be cool. Anyway, guys, tell me what your thoughts are. I hope you guys stay safe, and as always, peace.